Hello, hi, it's me, toxiclowfive, and I want to talk about something. Now, Blue Heater has been out for a good few hours now. It's about to be a day since this game came out. Did pretty decently in terms of players. It peaked at like 10k, I think. And right now it's stagnated around 7,000, and that's probably mostly because it's summer, so a lot of people don't have much to do, so there's gonna be a lot of players. Now, I haven't made it to floor 4 yet. I mean floor 3 yet. We'll get there hopefully today, and then I can make a video on that tomorrow. But I wanted to talk about the flaws I've been seeing with the game that, honestly, I'm really unhappy to say that is ruining the game for me. We're gonna start off with this. The gameplay of this game is a little dated, and I will say that it's fine for what it is. Like this, it works, but sometimes it just doesn't work. And there's a few examples of that I'm gonna show on floor 1. Like some of the fights are just like unwinnable sometimes. And like any enemy that spawns enemies is unfun. The way they did it in Blue Heater 1, if you never played Blue Heater 1, whenever you fight a boss, when you get it to half health, it would become invincible for a bit until you kill all the enemies in the room. Once you kill the enemies in the room, then you can go back and attack him. But in this, they just constantly spawn enemies depending on what intervals you kill enemies at. So let's just say you got your this is the health bar of the boss fight, right? If you got the boss fight to here, you'll spawn a groups of enemies and you'll kill them while also fighting him, and then it will do it here halfway when it's about to die, and it's just really annoying. That's one thing I really don't like about this game so far, and I hope they fix it. Another thing I'm not enjoying about the game is the microtransactions. Now, the microtransactions in games, I know you gotta make your money. I know you gotta do that and this, so you gotta make your money, right? But the problem is, it is so expensive to buy anything in this game, and I'm gonna give you a very fine example of that. If you go to the shop, you can buy bleeder bits. You got bleeder bits for this is in-game currency to like buy like cosmetics and stuff like that, emotes, mounts and stuff. You don't need this, but it costs like the best you could get is like this one for 4,000 Robux, and you have to gamble. It's gambling. You can't get what you want. So you want this shirt, 50% chance, buddy. You want this, 1% chance. So it's just gambling. It's not like a daily shop or something you can just pay your money on and support the devs. There's nothing like that. Same thing with the auras. The auras cost all of this money and is gambling, so you can't even get the one you want. So if you want this musical one, you can't get it, and I'm not a big fan of that. I know it was like this in Sober's 2 as well, but I wasn't a fan of that either, so I never spent my money on them, and it was super expensive. But that's not the biggest issue. I don't like that. But what I noticed is guilds. If you want to make a guild, you need 12,000 bleeder bits to create a guild. If you want to create your own guild, it costs 12,000, and to get that amount, you would either have to grind. Let's see how much. Okay, so let's see how much you get per day for doing these. So if you didn't know, in the game there's these like mission boards, and you can go to these mission boards to do quests each day, and you have to do a certain quest. Oh, I have one already. You get 100 per one, so you have 3 per floor. So there's 3 on floor 1 and 3 on floor 2, so I assume it's gonna be 3 on floor 3 as well. So you get about 900. So if you do the math, and let's just say you do a week, let's just say you do it for a week. Okay, let's just say you do the daily quest for a week. So that'll be 900 multiplied by 7 no, not 7,000. So that's 6. You would get each week you would get 6,300. So it would take you about 2 weeks to create your guild, and you might be like, oh, that's not too bad, but that's, keep in mind, you got to do all of the quests every single day for a whole day, and that's like 2 weeks of work. So if you multiply that by 2, you would get just barely enough. So you need to do it. It would take you 2 weeks to be able to get it if you want to get it the free way. Or if you don't want to wait for that, you can just buy some from the shop instead. To get it, you would need about, I guess, 2 of these, or maybe 1 of these and 1 of these. So yeah, 2. I think that would do it. So yeah, this will give you 13,000. So you could buy 2 of these. I think that's like the best way to do it. That's about 5,398 Robux. Now let's see, if I wanted to buy that much Robux, how much money would I be spending? 5,300, and this is with premium too. So this is how much I need. Where I live, this would be $100 in Robux just to make one guild. One guild, bro. That's insane to me. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but hey, whatever. Another thing that I don't like is the exploration in this game is annoying. It's so annoying to explore in this map because you can't sprint. I don't know why they don't have sprinting in the game yet. I think they made mounts faster though. I feel like I'm faster with the mounts, but I don't know why there's no sprinting. It just doesn't make sense, especially if you're doing dungeons. You can't go through them quickly, because if you, let's just say you make a tank build that only has like 15 speed, right? You're gonna take forever to do anything because the game's punishing you because there's no sprinting. And they fixed that in Blue Heater 1 by adding sprinting. Before, you would have a slow build, but you could still keep up with everybody else because you still had the sprinting mechanic, which would double your speed. So instead of having 15, you would have 30 speed when you're sprinting, and there's a stamina bar for it, and that would give more reason for people to upgrade their agility, because agility is not useful past level 20 unless you're getting like the skills from it that they get from it. That's it. Another thing is the companions. There's no reason to get companions unless you want to flex for whatever reason. They don't do anything. They're just there. But yeah, the microtransactions is definitely a big issue with this game that I hope they fix. Now I'm gonna go over to the skeleton boss fight just to show you an example of what I mean on like the boss fight. And another thing that's a big issue with this game, the party system is useless. There's no reason to be in a party, because I don't know if anybody's been playing the game, but if you play the game a decent amount, you'll notice it's really hard to get credit on kills. So for example, a good example, let's just say you're playing with your friends, right? So you have a tank, you have a DPS dealer, and then you have 2 healers, right? Those 2 healers won't be able to get the kill on the boss because they can't do damage. Because if you make a fully support class, let's just say you make an elf class, you get everything. So this right here, this ability, this gives dexterity. And there's a whole bunch of other talents like that. Like there's the Phantom's Grace. This one gives dexterity, power surge. This one gives strength to everybody. This one gives intelligence to everybody. I might actually equip this. This will actually be fire. I might get rid of that for the fireball. Anyways, but yeah, my point is that there's a whole bunch of these things that like you can use for healing. There's also the group healing things like the flower field. This healing right here, really good for healing your characters, especially if your elf character is really good. So if you want to make a character that's just mostly just focused on healing and supporting your class, there's no point. You can't get the kills, you can't progress, you can't get XP. If you're working as a team and you're just a support class, you can't do anything. You're just at a disadvantage compared to everybody else. You can't really do anything. Yes, you can still attack. Yes, you can still do some damage, but considering how much damage you need to do to even get credit in the first place, it just completely ruins the game. And a big example of that is in the skeleton boss fight. You notice, if you didn't know, in the skeleton boss fight, which is the final boss on floor 1 that you have to defeat before you could go to floor 2. You also have to get level 24. We're gonna get to that in a second. You have to kill the boss. Like, and I don't mean like you're going into. Wait, let me just show you what I'm talking about. Let's go to floor 1. Let's go to floor 1. One thing I will say they should do, they should make it so you can just teleport back there. And you should be able to just fast travel to all fast travels. You shouldn't have to teleport to one just to do it. It's kind of just waste time, especially since we can't sprint already. But I guess that's not that big of a deal. It's fine. But right, so we're gonna go here and we gotta travel real far and we can't sprint, so it's gonna take forever to get there. Sprinting would be great. I really wish we could use our stamina system. Hey, I've been asking for it since alpha and they still haven't added it, so I don't know. You know, one thing that people keep saying, oh, you're sprinting at all times, Cyan. Oh, really? So what does this say? Does that say walk speed? Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's what I thought. What am I stuck on? What the? You know what? Whatever. Oh god, oh great. Yeah, I'm not coming back there. I'm not doing it. It's too much running. I'll just say this, the boss fight just like it just spawns enemies at intervals like I said before, and it's just frustrating having to deal with them. Another boss that does it perfectly probably is this one. Enemy spawns take too long, and the perfect example of that, there's this one quest we have to kill 50 night stalkers, and if you don't know what a night stalker is, it's just an enemy that spawns over by that weird witch lady near the spawn, and it's only 3 spawn, and it takes about 2 minutes for each to spawn. Now, you can only kill about 6 to 8 per night depending on how fast you kill them, and you have to kill 15 of them, keep in mind. So it probably will take you 2 to 3 nights to finish the quest. This quest right here, this quest allows you to kill this guy. Now the issue with this guy is he's on a slant. Now you might be like, oh, what's the issue with that, Cyan? Well, when he does that attack, his attack goes into the ground, so you can't see what he's doing. You see that? So he's like slanted, so like it's really hard to tell. Another issue is he spawns enemies at random intervals, kind of like the skeleton boss fight, and it's just really annoying because they're just constantly shooting over and over. I'm just trying to get them to spawn. There, you see those? You see those? Yeah, they just constantly spawn over and over and over again, and it just gets really frustrating. And that's like it's really annoying having to deal with that. So I think what they should do is either flatten out that area, or I don't even know. I think that's the only way they could do it, because it's just really hard to fight him like that. It's really frustrating. It took me and Lila like super long to kill that stupid fight because we just kept dying to some BS. It was just so annoying. I bought a private server as well because the lag is bad. I want to support the devs because I do like the game. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying any of this to hate on the game. I don't hate Blue Heater. I've been here from the beginning. I know people are, bro, you're just hating. No, I want the game to be better. So I'm talking about these flaws. Another flaw with the game that I personally hate that developers are doing recently is level locks. Why does this game have a level lock? Like, the quests aren't level locked. So why can't I just be a tryhard at level 1 and go to floor 3 right away? Why do I have to be at level 48? It doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't make sense that that is forcing me to be level 48. I should be able to just go in, beat the floor 1 boss. All right, cool. Let me go straight to floor 2. Beat the spectral dragon that wants me to beat and go straight to the next one. I don't mind them locking the thing behind a kill. That's fine. But why do I also have to level up as well? Why is that a thing? I get that the game is balanced between the levels and it's going to be really difficult for me, but it shouldn't be the developer's choice for me to if I want to fight the final boss or not. I should be able to just go there right away. And I hate that about this game, and I hope they change that soon. This one is not really that much of an issue, but the animations in this game I'm not a big fan of. I never was a big fan of them. They're definitely a major improvement over Blue Heater 1. Like, Blue Heater 1's animations were awful. These are just fine. They're just like a 6 out of 10. They're nothing great. They just get the job done. I like the style they went for. Like, for the idle animations, they look cool, but the swing animations it just feels weird. I don't know how to explain it. And then the hitboxes are also weird. I know that a lot of people probably noticed that, especially if you're using rapier is really weird. Like the hitboxes are really weird, especially if you're using dagger. If you're using dagger, I feel really bad for you. Like the hitbox on that is absolute garbage. That's pretty much most of the issues I have with this game. So for recap, the microtransactions in this game are really insane. I don't mind supporting the developers. I know they have to make money to continue the game, but 12,000 for a guild, 12,000 beer bits for a guild is insane. It'll take you 2 weeks of constant grinding to even get there, and that's if you even have floor 3. It would be, I understand, it would probably be fine if we have all 5 floors, but that's still like major grinding you're gonna have to do. It takes you, like, depending on like what quest it is, it's gonna take you like 5 minutes per quest, so it's gonna take you about 2 hours to finish that every day. Nah, that's just insane to me. That's just insane. I think that needs changing. Another thing, I think we need more I don't know if I haven't played floor 3, so this might be a thing, but we need more skills that lets you upgrade your mana. Like my mana regen, I wish there was like a talent that lets my mana regen replenish faster than it is now, because that's a big issue. I know that's fixed if you use the angel class. Angel class gets 5% mana back every kill, but that's not going to be helpful in a boss, will it? Unless the boss actually spawns stuff. So, but yeah, that's most of the issues I have with the game right now. There's probably more that I can't think of off the top of my head right now, but yeah, I still do love this game. If you haven't checked out the game yet, I highly recommend checking it out. I really hope they make some changes to this game, make it so it's easier to explore the map, because right now it just feels like a chore, because the map is huge, and I don't think that's an issue. I'm glad the map is big. I'm glad it's so explorative. There's so many places to go. There's millions of quests to explore. There's so much to do. There's dungeons. Oh wait, no, there's one more thing. Hold on. There's one more thing I want to complain about, actually. There's 2 more things I want to complain about. I know this is like just going on a rant, but I mean, like, they're popping up in my head. I remember the tower system in this game is absolutely horrible. I don't know who tested it. I assume they want you to be doing it at level 1 if it's I mean not level 1, like a level 10 to level 24, considering this is the first floor, right? They want to put it on the first floor. The reason you want to do the tower is so that if you got like bad stats on the weapon you want to max out, because in this game you can just max out any weapon you want. Like you could just continually keep the starter sword if you wanted to. I don't know what you would, but you could, and you could just like reroll stats. You can upgrade it over and over. I don't think there's a limit to upgrading. I could be wrong about that though. I don't think there's a limit to upgrading. It just depends on how patient you are, and that's gonna lead into the other complaint I have. But the tower system, if you haven't played it yet, it's just really bad. Okay, so there's a random obby in it that you have to do, but it's a real stamina check, because double jumping takes so much stamina. So if you don't have a lot of stamina regen, you're cooked. You're gonna probably die, because there's a lot of double jumping you need to do. You can't use your mount either, so you can't even get away with that. Then there's this golf mini game that's super random, but that one's pretty easy. Then you have the wave defense, which is also not too bad, but since they spawn so many enemies, you could get overwhelmed if you accidentally go too far. Another thing is there's the boss rush. The boss rush spawns the final boss on this floor. One of the hardest bosses, the B boss, and it's just really unfun to fight it. I don't know who enjoys this. I'm pretty sure people do well on this, but I just don't know why I would ever want to do that. It's just not fun to me. I hate the tower. Another thing, the only way to get upgrade crystals in this game is to do dungeons, and you can't use floor 1 crystals on floor 2 weapon. And you might be like, oh, that's fine, Zion. I mean, that makes sense. No, it's really dumb. So everything you get from floor 1 just becomes obsolete. I don't think it should be like that. I think you should still be able to use your floor 1 stuff, because that gives you a reason to come back. Like if I'm finding the dungeons too hard on floor 1, at least I should be able to come back here and grind these and like turn them into the floor 2 crystals if they want to do it that way. That should be a thing in the crafting system. I don't think there is. But yeah, you only get like 1 or 2. Let's go back to spawn. Now let me see. Can we craft them? Maybe they have that as a recipe. Nope, doesn't seem like it. So we can't craft the crystals into level 2 crystals. Let's see. All right, let's see. What if I want to upgrade this level 16? Right, let's select that. We need 13 of these, and keep in mind, each dungeon you only get 1 to 2, maybe even 3 if you're lucky of these, and then these just become obsolete when you get to the next floor. I don't think it should be like that, because that makes replayability really dumb. Like if I want to come back and craft stuff, it just makes me grind even harder than I need to, and it's just really silly to me. I really don't like that. Another thing is the inventory system, and I know they said before that you could just search for whatever you want, but what if I don't know the name of the thing and I just want to see my rapiers? You can do it this way. I think if you type in rapier, it shows all your rapiers. But why is there not just like a subcategory to just show? I mean, you already have them categorized, but if I type them in and they're popping up, if I type in great sword, they're popping up. So why not just have subcategories? If I type in staff, does that pop up? What about a wand? Does that work? No, wands don't work, but staff does. So why not just have subcategories where I could just click here, like this button right here, and I just show all my rapiers, or if I want to see my great swords, my long swords, my staffs, my axes, all of that. Why can't I just do that way? That's really stupid, because it gets confusing. Another issue is you can only have 200. You only have 200 inventory space, and I don't think there's a banking system. Let me check. Right, so this is where you can like sell stuff. There's the bounty shop as well, but there's no banking. There's no bank as you can see here. There's no bank anywhere. So it's not that you could store your stuff. So just think about it this way. When we get to like floor 5 and floor 6, maybe even floor 4, all of our stuff is just gonna become obsolete, like just instantly right off the bat. And you're gonna have to sell that stuff. You're gonna have to get rid of that stuff because you won't have enough inventory space. You only have enough for 200 items. I'm glad they separated them. Like you could have you could have this many armors. They separated them, but I still think it's gonna become an issue later where collectors won't be able to collect. They're gonna have to like sell everything. So the way to fix it, either add a banking system to the game or make it so we have infinite inventory space, kind of like Sobers 2. I think that's finally all the issues I have with the game currently. Everything else is pretty good about the game. I still think the exploration in this game is top tier. I like that the quest is really good. The dialogue from the enemies are really fun to talk to. It has a lot of humor. The art style is really good. I'm not a big fan of the characters, especially the really weird looking characters with the really weird faces. That guy just side-eyed me. But I still do think this game is an amazing game. Hopefully with these fixes, if any developers are watching this, just remember none of this is hate. I love this game. I want it to prosper. I want it to do great. But I think those little things, at least half of some of those things being implemented, that would help a lot with a lot of the things, the issues with the game. Right now, the game actually isn't too bad for new game players. It actually is self-explanatory since they added the map and stuff. So I think that's a good thing. So hopefully they continue doing stuff like that. I'm glad they're doing like quality of life updates before they fully released it. Really good. But now they need to like really focus on fixing the flaws of the game before they continue making more floors or more events and stuff like that. But that's all I have to say. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.